Hello YouTube, today I will be briefly talking about my opinion of Tom Clancy's The Division, giving some insights so far of the game and what the future might hold. Firstly, I'll say that I've had The Division hype ever since the first footage came out in E3. I knew the graphics were exaggerated as always, but the idea really spoke to me. I enjoy MMOs as a former hardcore WoW player, and loot-based games obviously for the same reason. Overall, I truly enjoyed the first hours of gameplay and really got into it. The graphics are great. A lot of detail went into building New York in the game, and the game felt like it was running smoothly, apart from probably the first part where you had to click that damn laptop and you had like 200 people doing it and it took like 20 minutes to do it. I have to say, as someone that did every side mission and picked up all intel, at some point it became very repetitive. But that's to be expected in an MMO because the game is meant to start at max level pretty much. Let's talk about the cons that show up once you hit level 30, well, max level at this point. The game is very buggy. Sometimes the gates at the entrance to missions won't open, and due to the lack of some easy way to reset a mission before it's over, you either give up or find a new group. They really have to have quicker responses when it comes to loot caves and exploits, because 3 to 4 hours of grinding those pretty much maxes your gear, your Phoenix credits, gives you at least 7 to 10 high ends, loads of crafting materials, and in a loot-based game that could be a killer. You know, I'm not a saint. I also exploited those easy to get loot because why not? Why should I be the bigger man and get left behind? Recalibration, at least for me, is totally broken. I wasted hundreds of Phoenix credits looking for the stat that I want, and when getting it, I picked it, and for some reason, even though I got prompted that I will get the stat that I was looking for some reason I got a totally different stat. I understand that it has to do something with the mouse. You should use the keyboard and not the mouse, but seriously, these are things that really shouldn't happen in a game from a company like Ubisoft. One thing that also bothers me is, why do weapon skins take up backspace? I'm all for buying or finding 3 skins to be able to put them on 3 different weapons, but why do I have to take them around with me? With this system, I take whatever I can put on the weapons in my bags at the moment, and the rest are sitting in my stash until I remember they are there. I would assume that a lot of effort was put into making the skin types, and it's a shame, pretty much, to see it go to waste and nobody using it or looking at it ever again, pretty much. The DZ is pretty much useless. Once you hit rank 50, which I still haven't gotten at this point, I don't really see any point in going in there unless you're a PvP junkie, and still, you don't really get that much incentive to go rogue. Rather just run around, find named elites, kill them, try to get at least 1 or 2 decent drops, and extract them if you can. I mean, once you're 50, you buy the recipes and you make whatever you bought, and unless you need to go in there and find some division tech sometimes, there's really no reason to go in there. I think that's pretty flawed. So there are obviously a lot more issues with the game, but like I said, I want to try to keep this brief as much as I can. So let's talk about the future of the game and what's planned to come out from what we've been told. So on the 14th of April, the first incursion of 2 free DLCs is coming out, called Falcon Host Incursion. The future of this game depends on that patch. If it doesn't deliver, I don't see this game leaving a long-term mark. It does sound pretty interesting though. The incursion will have 2 difficulties, hard and challenging mode. It is said to be hard. You will need to actually assign roles and get gear to suit those roles. There will not be a checkpoint, so if you die during the mission, you will need to start off from the beginning, and that could be annoying, and I can see that being a real issue with pug groups and people leaving and rage quitting and stuff. 4 new gear sets will be introduced with special perks when wearing a full set of those. You can grind incursions, but will only get the better gear on the first run of that week. It will drop gear set pieces and high-end weapons and armor. This sounds great. The only issue it might have is that it might only turn out to be a gear check, like the challenge modes we have now. I mean, and the question is, how long will it take until you outgear those incursions and it's pretty much a face roll, and then you can start boosting people and stuff like that. That will depend. That will make a huge difference. If it's actually hard and you need to keep doing it every single week, and the gear will be hard to get, and you will have some incentive to do it, it might be great. But if it's only a gear check, it might get old really quickly. Next up, they're introducing gear score, which is good and bad from my personal experience from WoW. If you have a minimum required gear score, you will be boosting less than today, and I can tell you that today you are boosting a lot of people in challenge modes. However, from past experience, those systems can be tricked easily, and will be prone to exploits and trickery and stuff like that. And in theory, with a good exploit like the ones we had up till now, someone could pick up a lot of gear with close to no playtime, and that's a big difference between actually playing and getting the gear and just exploiting and getting gear really easily, and that's it. Next up, we have new daily and weekly assignments, which are just a bit of a grind, killing X amount of Y enemies for Phoenix credits or regular credits or whatever. Yeah, sure, why not? It's something to do for the PvE crowd out there. Then we have item trading. Item trading is something that I personally am against, and I'll tell you why. In item trading, you can trade any item that drops within a group for 2 hours. Okay, that's pretty nice. I dislike this idea because, again, it opens up doors to boosting and exploits. I mean, what happens if someone joins the group after the kill, but within the 2 hour window? Could he get the gear, or will they have some sort of system to stop that from happening? And if they have a system to stop that from happening, how easily will it be exploited? And you can see where I'm going with this. I mean, plus, it can cause a lot of unwanted drama. You join a group of 3 friends, the best in slot weapon drops. You obviously want to keep it for yourself, and the friends give you grief because you're not giving their other friend the weapon that he really wants, and it's a cycle that never ends, and it's inevitable, and it will happen. And I mean, I'm really against item looting because it also takes out the RNG part of the game. The whole part of the game is that you kill stuff, you get your personal loot. If you get good RNG, awesome. If you get crappy RNG, that sucks. But that's your RNG. Here, if somebody else gets good RNG and he's your friend, he'll give you the weapon that you want, and you will be farming the game less, therefore playing the game less. And it's a cycle that I really don't see being profitable for Ubisoft. And lastly, we have the supply drops, which mean that every hour, more or less, a container will drop in the Dark Zone containing good loot. It will be guarded by strong AIs, and only the first person or group to loot it will be able to get the loot, and they won't need to extract it. That means when you loot it, it's yours. You don't need to run to an extraction point and get it out of there. I actually like this idea. It might open up world PvP a lot more if there will be a real incentive to actually go there. If the drops in the crates are good, people will do it. It really reminds me of the arena in Stranglethorn Vale in WoW that had a crate come up every so often, and it had vanity items and stuff like that, and people really wanted it, and they got groups going, and there was world PvP and killing other players and stuff like that. It's really interesting if it's done right, pretty much. So to sum up, some of the changes coming to the game seem great. If they will be well implemented, this could become a cult game. However, if it will be a letdown, this game could truly sink. That's my personal opinion so far of the game and what's meant to come very soon. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any of your own comments, feel free to comment in the section below. Tell me what you think of the game. Tell me what you think of the upcoming changes to the game. And of course, if you enjoyed, please consider liking, subscribing, and leaving comments. And that's it. Have a good day.